Athens Dash is the latest nitro track announced from Mario Kart Tour. This is one of the many tracks to use Mario Kart Tour's gimmick of being set in a real life city. This also means though that we will be getting multiple variants of Athens Dash, with the spring tour starting off with 2 of them. But will we even be visiting in Athens Dash? That's what I'm planning to answer right now. So what are we able to use to work out these tracks? At first glance, all we have is the main Spring Tour trailer, which shows a section with a top and bottom path, a big turn which surrounds what looks to be where you'd land from a glider section, a U-turn followed by a cannon, the T variant of a place filled with pillars, and a half pipe, and finally, the starting line. However, there were a few more glimpses Nintendo hid in the Spring Tour teaser. For starters, we have the Me Suit trailer, which shows a ramp leading to a big turn, and this area by a cliffside which shows 2 arrow markers. One of these seems to stop the player from entering a section with half pipes, which looks similar to the one mentioned before. Along with the Me Suit trailer, the Spring Tour banner even shows off an area right before the finish line. This area has lots of grass and 3 paths we haven't even seen yet in any of the trailer footage prior. Then to add on to all of that, we have some leaked screenshots of the tracks, with 2 being very important. The first is a track transitioning from a temple area to a grassy area before leading into a cave, and the second is a grassy hill with falling boulders. Finally is 2 less important images, with them just containing alternate angles on the top and bottom path areas. So now that's all the images that we have and all of the clips that we have. So let's get on to the actual route, shall we? Athens Dash 1 is up first. Exiting the start line, which will remain the same in all variants, you turn to the left before going across the cliffside on a mild slope downwards. You then have the option to take a top or bottom path. However, both paths meet up again quickly, allowing all players to go up this ramp, which leads to a long turn with boost panels. After this is a section with a U-turn and an off-road shortcut before entering a cannon. This cannon launches you up to the top of a cliff where you enter a grassy area. You'll go straight through here to the finish. Athens Dash 1 may have been extremely obvious for its route, but the same could not be said for Athens Dash 2. We know the main things this route contains, but where do we enter and exit it? Where does everything connect? Well, during the cliffside section, you will turn to the right into this arrow marker, which will be preceded with a section filled with poles and a half pipe on the turn to the right. Immediately after, you go out of the ruins area past a swamp and into a cave. In the cave, you'll be elevated slightly before immediately going back down past some boulders. This was easily the trickiest part to figure out now, but this path here on the area before the finish line seems to be on a slant. Judging by what I think Athens' free route will be, this will probably be a hill leading up from where the boulder section ends. So after going up that hill, you will turn to the right into the finish line. Next up is Athens Dash 3, the one we easily have the least information on. However, it shouldn't be too hard to figure out what it sort of is. This is because the only 2 arrow markers which could lead to anywhere are this one on the first turn and the second in the split path section. The only other unused area is this path near the big turn. With that all said, you start off by going from the finish line through this path blocked by an arrow marker. You then head down a slope before reaching this area by the split path section. You then go through the bottom of a split path area like normal before going through this turn instead of a ramp. This is followed by a barrel cannon which leads the player to the last unused path of the course before leading them back to the start of the course. Last but not least is the Mario Kart 8 route, which will just be Athens 1 followed by Athens 2 and finally Athens 3, since each variant seems to be going in the same direction. And that is everything. Athens Dash looks to be a great track from what we have seen so far of it, and I'm very excited for it to release soon. However, I want to know your thoughts on Athens Dash so far, so please let me know down below. With that all said, I'll see you next time. Bye.